Hello, it is I, creator of Magi Studios, Devin. And I first off want to just say I apologize for being gone for so long. I just been really busy between work and family obligations, things like that. And so I just haven't had the time or energy to really even like sit down and actually draw. So for like almost 2 months, it's been pretty busy, but I'm here at last. And today I really wanted to talk about the idea that God can do more. I just want to say thanks for listening. And I also want to say I'm very aware that this might be a bit jarring because this is a YouTube channel about art and making stories. And it's like, what does God have to do with that necessarily? Well, my philosophy, my thoughts is that God is a creator. And as you try to do art or make art, you instantly become a sort of creator. And so you kind of take on that not imagery, what's the word I'm looking for? You take on that role that God has as a creator, to make things to serve other people, right? And um I think that has just stressed me in ways I was not necessarily prepared for. While my art itself may not have gotten like amazingly good as I would want it to be, I do think it has still made me grow as a person. Um, Giving and these are thoughts that I have while working on projects and things like that. This is what really gives me my motivation sometimes as well. And so I just kind of wanted to share it with you guys here on YouTube. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into it. Thank you. The topic of this video is God can do more with your 10% than you can do with your 100%. And what really sparked this interest of this video topic for me was that I actually saw a sermon of a pastor was talking about this very thing of giving time to God, right? And I felt like all of my work was like, what does it mean to like really, really give your time to God? And I always felt like a lot of my work, uh, when I was drawing, since I had like maybe like 15 minutes throughout the day, here and there spaced out, I was just like, oh man, like I feel like my drawing, my skills will never increase. I'm feeling like there's someone who could do it better. I'm feeling like there's someone who has more time than me. There's someone who has more skills than me. There's someone who has more creativity than me. And like what I'm doing doesn't even really matter. It does not matter. Right. But at the end of the day, I think God can work miracles. Right. He is an all powerful God. And like if I just believe in, if I really place my faith in Jesus, then even if I give him 10% of my time, right, to just draw and create stories and whatnot, like he can do more than what I can do in my own, if I had a whole day to draw, right? He can upgrade my skills. He can do anything. It make me learn on all those things more than I can do on my own strength, right? And so it just this idea was brought to me. While I had another video planned out, this one needed to come first because it lit a fire in me when I saw it. So for you people working on your dreams and aspirations, right? You feel like you don't have enough time, but and you believe in God, right? You believe in Jesus. You have placed your faith in Jesus, and you feel like all you do is serve. Let me ask you, what does it mean to place your faith in Jesus? It means that in the Bible, it literally says that we are justified by our faith. That means we are fully loved, we are fully righteous, we are fully accepted in God's love by Jesus alone, right? Whether we win, whether we succeed, whether we lose, come in first place, second place, third place, does not matter. None of that actually matters. Like this idea that we have placed our faith in Jesus is that the outcomes are not up to us, right? And so the and what the devil tries to use for evil, God can use for good, right? So I the fear of failure is completely and utterly canceled out because Jesus sits at the right hand of the throne. Because we have placed our faith in Jesus, the like we actually in grand scheme of things, we do not fail. So Proverbs 24 verse 16 says, "For the righteous fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked stumble in times of calamity." You know what that means. I don't have to go into deep detail on what that means, but the Bible itself is saying you are good for constantly trying, for not giving up. So don't give up on your dreams and aspirations. I do believe that God has placed those into your heart. So please do not give up on those. Each loss really is a learning lesson. It is patience. It is virtuous, not to necessarily lose itself, but to keep striving forward towards that goal that has been placed into your heart, right? The secret place when you're sitting there praying and talking to God, and He's like kind of telling you, "Hey, I want you to do this thing," and you're just like, "I don't have the time. I don't have the energy." If you got 10% of time, you got 10% of energy. Give that to Him, and He will multiply it to 100%. Okay, I truly do believe that. I would recommend each and one of you to go into your secret place, pray to your Father who art in heaven, and ask Him what has He truly placed into your heart. Double check, make sure it's just not your own ego being stroked, but God really does change the desires of our hearts. I'll be honest, at one point I really wanted to make comics just to be cool. I thought it'd be cool. I wanted to be like, one of those mangakas. I wanted to do it my own way, and I wanted to just like make money off of this. And now, the more I've been working on this, the more I'm like, it's not really worth it. In the grand scheme of things, it's really trying to make money off of comics is not that worth it. And I would love to be able to just do it for free as a pastime, right? Because I have other things I'm also interested in, but the pressure of money is, always is always there. But I want to say that now I've come to a realization, like the main reason I really want to tell stories is actually because they give hope. Right? When I was a kid and I was reading these comics and things like that, they gave me hope. And I want to make stories like that give hope. That's all I want to do, right? And who is the ultimate hope? It is Jesus. So I want to really write stories that reflect back onto Jesus, that point back to Jesus, just like how Lord of the Rings does it, how Narnia does it. These are stories that really do point back to Jesus, to the Creator. In Matthew 25, Matthew chapter 25, Jesus talks, I'm going to summarize the story of the talents, and he talks about how a master is going away for a long time. So he gives one servant 5 talents, which is like a year's worth of wages, I think. So like 5 years worth of wages. He gives another one 2 talents, and then he gives one servant 1 talent, right? So we're not talking about abilities, but we're talking about money, actually. But one servant goes out, he doubles it, right? He doubles the 5 talents, makes it 10 talents, brings it back to the master when he comes back. The second one, he doubles it. He instead of 4 talents, he brings back instead of 2 talents, he brings back 4 talents. And then the last one, he goes and buries his treasure, right? He buries his talents into the ground and brings him back just the 1 talent. He did not steward it. He did not use it. He just buried his head in the sand and just did not touch it or do anything and say, I know you are a hard man, and things like that. And Jesus, who is represented in this story. He's like, "You evil and wicked servant." So, are you really being obedient when you're actually not doing what he says, right? What he has called you to do? You are actually being defiant to the Lord, right? I if you truly do believe the Lord has called you to do this thing, he has placed it on your heart to do this thing, then you should be willing to go as far as maybe sacrificing some money, sacrificing some time, sacrificing some, maybe even some friendships or something like that. Depends, right? Don't sacrifice family or anything like that, but like sacrifice that time that you would spend with family or friends to do this. You have to make the sacrifice to that, right? That's what kind of means I give up my 10%, right? I give up. It is ultimately a sacrifice, right? And so you have to do that. In the book of Romans, chapter 8, Paul's writing to the church of Roman, and he says, "There is no condemnation for those who are in Jesus Christ." So that means whether we win, whether we fall, especially if we fall, like that doesn't make our identity. Our failures do not make our identity, because our identity is in Christ. We are the reflection of Christ. So I just want to leave you guys and encourage you guys to keep striving forward, to keep trying to achieve your dreams, even if it looks foolish. God uses the foolish things in the world to shame the wise. God chose what is weak in the world to shame the strong. Like, come on. So even if it looks foolish, you have to keep striving forward. And I'm not just saying this for you guys. I am also saying this for myself. I am saying this to myself, right? Because I wanted to give up, because I wasn't seeing any progress. I wasn't seeing anything. I didn't think I even, my dreams, maybe it's the wrong season, maybe it's the wrong time to make my dreams come true. But I do believe in all of this. It is all a learning lesson. It is all to build me up and to make me stronger and to the individual that God needs me to be to steward what he has truly given me, right? And I might only be seeing half of the fruits at the moment, because I don't have the character per se to steward the what he has given me in its fullness. So he's building me up. This is a building season for all of us. Ultimately, we're always going to be building until we reach heaven. So I want to leave you guys with that encouragement. We are growing. We are being strengthened. We are being built. And just as you have to start with the construction blocks in art, God has to break you down sometimes to build you back up even stronger. So I want to leave you guys with that. In Jesus' mighty name.